All right, so while we wait in perpetuity for the input shaft bearing to come in, I did get my rear output shaft bearing installed. I did remove the inner shield so that way it can get its oil. Figured we'd go ahead and reassemble the output shaft at least. At least we'll make some progress, right? While we wait, it's been I feel like weeks. Third gen overnighted me a bearing. It never left their shop, and now they're overnighting me another one. So we'll see if it comes in. Other than that, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. I got my book, my Matt Van Pelt book. If you're going to be doing this, highly recommend. Almost can't do it without it. If you don't, as you know what you're doing. And here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and start. I got my assembly goo here, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. I really need to get a new case for my phone. It's getting all screwed up, but I'm gonna take the, oh man, that's been sitting out in the shop, got all nasty on me. Take the assembly goo. I love me some assembly goo. Just gonna make sure I coat everything, and yes, I am doing this in the comfort of my home because it's hot outside. Go ahead and slide this on. There we go. Go ahead and just, since it's been a while, I'll coat the shaft with the assembly goo. All right, now we'll go ahead and install the, what is this? This is the intermediate gear. This is second gear. Now let me go ahead. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take assembly goo. I'm gonna put it all in the inside here on that copper or brass or whatever it is inside. I'm sure it's brass. Bushing or something. Just gonna make sure I got everything coated, and since it's gonna be a while since I messed with it, I coated everything in LPS. It's a rust inhibitor, like coats everything. It's really good. We use it in the industry. Let's go ahead. This will slide on and rest against. Oh, I thought it would rest against the thrust washer, but it's not going in all the way. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Now it rests against the thrust washer. We got that. All right. Let's look and see what's next. Okay, there's a special note in the book about this washer here. This is a brass washer, and since it came on my transmission, I'm using the same stuff. I'm going to reuse, of course, I'm going to reuse the same thing again. I'm not sure which way it went. I know it went like this. Just kind of looking here how this is all going to go together. I can't get this thing to line up to put it on. There we go. Well, I'm gonna have to mess with it, I guess. I guess it don't really matter which way. Oh, I'm getting this on camera. I guess it don't really matter which way this goes, but it did come off, so I'm gonna reinstall it, just like so. All right, so important to note, this washer here is what determines the final clearance spec. So it's best to, and you're not gonna know it though until you get the snap ring installed and the hub synchro and everything installed. So with this installed, we're gonna put some assembly goo. You gotta put the brass synchro ring on. So let's go ahead and lube it up. It's brand new synchro ring. So let's get it all lubed up. Got some lines in there. Just want to make sure I get plenty of assembly goo. All right, this will slide on here like so, okay? And then we'll slide on the synchro hub itself. Let's go ahead and get some assembly goo on it. Nothing wrong with the goo. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and slide it on the shaft. Let me get my hands clean real quick before I do this. I don't want to slip and drop anything. All right. Um, got a little further than what I thought off camera. Something I want to point out. So this hub, according to the Van Pelt book, are hand fitted at Ford when these things were made. So they fit a specific way on this shaft. Sometimes he said they're marked, reference marked, so you'll know where to put it. Other than that, you literally have to trial and error. Stick it on. It's a very tight fit. Stick it on. It don't fit quite right. Pick it up, turn it a notch, set it back down, wiggle it. Won't fit right. Take it off, turn it until it slides on all the way. Um, Now I finally have it on all the way. I got the snap ring in, and what I did was, you're supposed to check. I hate grease on this thing. You're supposed to use a feeler gauge and check the distance. Once the snap ring is in and everything's assembled, you check the distance here between the thrust washer that you installed and this second gear. Now mine is supposed to be between I think 4 thousandths and 8 thousandths, I believe. 0.004 and 0.008. This is 0.006. This is the smallest I got, and it doesn't quite fit in there. So I'm going to assume it's probably 0.004 or maybe even 0.005, and it's good. So I'm just going to roll with it because I'm putting everything together back like it was. I'm using the same components. I'm just basically changing the bearing. So, and I'm changing the synchronizer, of course, and I'm using, instead of using the springs and the balls, I'm using these things. So I'm gonna call it there for now. I'm still waiting on the still waiting on the front shaft bearing to come in. I'm going to go ahead and remove this snap ring with my snap ring pliers and get everything back off. Then I'll reassemble the synchronizer hub all together. Then we can go ahead and install the this main shaft, output shaft, whatever you want to call it, into the transmission. Install the snap ring here, and then assemble the synchro onto it inside the transmission, and then put the snap ring on through the front of the transmission. Once we do all that, I'll put the the bolt with the big washer to hold the shaft in place on the back here. And then it's just getting the input shaft finished and getting that bearing. I was sitting here right before work and decided to assemble the synchro hub. So this originally has the little balls and springs. Van Pelt says you can not use those, and you don't even sell the parts for those anymore. You just go with the C-clip style spring and these little clips here. I'm guessing I did it right. He said offset, so you can see how it extends a little bit on each side of these, and then I have the, I guess, nipple up there. Well, on this side, I have the nipple on this side. He said offset these rings, so I did by one. And you can see how it extends on either side of those. I realized I got ahead of myself here on assembling without video, and if I have video of me assembling this, I'll include it right before this, but just in case I don't. This had the spring and balls, but Van Pelt doesn't even sell that anymore because you can use those C-clip springs, style springs with the square deals instead of those in these synchros. So to assemble, just put the inner hub with the outer hub, put the little square deals in the 3 slots. I put some assembly lube to hold them in place, and then I put the C-clip spring. Let's say the one, I put the little tit at the top, and then put the springs in the bottom. Make sure that the spring extends on either side of the little square deals, and then on the back side, I offset the spring one. So the tip was up here, now the tip was over here. So just to kind of give it equal spring pressure. Van Pelt gave me that advice the other day, and so I went with that. Now, with that being said, once the synchro was installed, I lowered this shaft into the transmission. I tilted it forward like that, and then I slid the synchro hub onto the shaft. Now it's about getting this snap ring on. In order to do so, you have to reach through the front here. So we're going to do that now. Just kind of get it in place here a little bit. Let's see if I can do this on camera. Oops. And that's why it's best to put the there we go. You're supposed to put a screw with a washer back here, and that kind of holds this off from coming out the back, which I needed to do. But let's take a look. Looks like we got the snap ring in place, so that's all good now. So one thing I didn't show, my front bearing finally came in. I removed the rear shield. You can see it's, I don't know if you can see through here, it's open. Got to get the snap ring on this. This has been in a freezer for like a week. So even so, when I went to install the bearing, it was real tight. So I took a piece of wood, kind of placed it on this inner part. It's kind of a big piece of wood, like 2x4, but I placed the edge over here and then just tapped it around until I got it seated. So now we're gonna get the snap ring on. Remember which one is which here. It's that one. Get the snap ring on, and still got the big snap rings for the bearings here. I'm gonna see where this one was. I don't remember where this one went. So I've got to find that one. No, I think this one actually is for a different transmission, because these kits come for 36 to 52. So I don't think that one's needed. So let me go ahead and get this on. Shit. Spider. It's never easy. It's hard doing on camera at least. If this is the original style snap rings, I'd be so screwed. Yeah. There we go. Snap ring is installed. All right, man, we are like right there, aren't we? So, let's see. Now, what I could do is, so this secret ring, can't forget this one. Let's get some assembly goo here. Oop. Keep getting that frame there. Just smearing all over this thing. Then take this. Oh, I gotta get the bearing out of there. I gotta get the bearing, and I gotta put the spacer on here. So I need to go to the shop. I gotta get the little ring spacer that goes here, and I gotta get the new roller bearing that goes in here. Also need to get the housing, the front bearing housing, the rear bearing housing. Let's see what else. Also need to get the little screws to hold the front and rear shafts in place as I mess around. I still got to, once I get this front shaft in, it's going to be time to finally get the lower gear set in place and the shaft and the cross pin or whatever you call it, the through shaft, I'm having a brain fart, in place, and then get the cross shaft. We're really close. We're really close. Be right back. All right, I went and got this spacer. This is a little ring spacer. I left it out in the shop. Go ahead and get that lubed. And this goes on the pilot end of this. There it goes. There. Just like that. And then I have new roller bearing. Go ahead and get that lubed up and installed into the input shaft. Got the roller bearing all lubed up. We're going to go ahead and take it and insert it into the shaft there. So now, got I want to go ahead and lube up. I already lubed up this. I'd like to go ahead and lube up this smooth surface here. Lube can't hurt, right? Shoot, I'll even lube up this gear. Let's see. This thing's still cold as hell. Okay. Take this, whoa. Take the synchro ring. Alright, we are pretty much ready to install it. Alright, so now that I've put my bolt in, I got one here and I got one in the front, and I got this sitting on a box, that way it stays straight up and down. What I'm going to do is, now is the time to get all this aligned. And it's just going to be a guessing game here. I got my shaft right here. You know what, let's, I got an idea. I'm going to lay this out here, and I'm going to spray this with Ballistol. I use this for guns and all kind of stuff. That LPS is kind of sticky. That's what I coated everything in before. And this is really going to lube it up, clean it up. That LPS does a good job of keeping everything rust free, even in the shop. So now we got a nice clean shaft. I'm going to kind of, oh, look at that fuzz. Glad I didn't go in there. Kind of, if I hold it this way and I hold my tongue just right, let me slide this. Oop. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, we are shipping hot cotton. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay, that's almost all the way in there. Let's go ahead and flip it around. You can see it's just slightly off. Oh. Look at that, look at that. Not really getting this on camera, I'm sorry. So, I've got it pretty much all the way. There we go. Alright, so now, Gonna make this sure it's lined up. I don't know if y'all can see, I'm not doing a good job of this right now. I'm sorry. All right, let's turn this like this. Okay. All right. And now it's lined up. It's lined up. We are in good shape. Okay. All right, so now that I'm finishing up this 39 transmission, something I wanted to discuss because it's not mentioned in Mac Van Pelt's book, and it's something we talked about over the phone. So normally you would put this cross shaft in from driver's side to passenger side and put a cotter pin. He said that he hasn't put it in the book, but after all the transmission he's done, he would suggest doing this. Now, and I don't have time to do it today, but we're going to talk about it. I got to go to work. So he said take some gasket making material, coat the cross shaft in it, and go from the passenger side to the driver's side, and you'll put your cotter pin here. Once this is in place, you will coat the outside of this head here with maybe put some right here, smush it in, and kind of cover this with your gasket material and let that harden before you do anything. What that's going to do is these are known to leak through this cross shaft, and normally with the other way it would just kind of leak out right here. Doing it this way, he found that it actually seals the leaks. I'm also going to, once I get all this done, I'm going to clean these really well, and I'm going to coat these in gasket material as well, here, and in the front, just to make sure that I don't have any leaks. But I think it'll be all right, but I figured why not. And so we still got to get this done, and the front. Oh. Got to put the front bearing retainer on, the gasket, the material I got to put on here. There is the shaft coming out the front there. Let's go ahead and clean that off. There you go. Bam. And does it work? Now that all the gears are meshed, let's see. There's stuff turning in there. All right. Got the front rear end, got the cross shaft in. Let's see. Okay. So neutral, whatever gear this is. Let's see, neutral, whatever gear this is. Let's see, okay, and then reverse. I think it's good. Something I wanted to include in the build video, if you have a frontal section like this, you'll have to remove the oil seal that goes in here, that goes on the shaft. It is this one was a major pain in the ass. This original seal, you can see the leather here. This thing was stuck in there so bad, oh my God. Finally got it out though. I've tried drilling into it and with a screw, pulling on it, everything. It just took me finally getting it enough space to slide my screwdriver underneath it and then pry it out, then hammer it out. But good God. Okay, now what we got to do is press in a new one. We press in a new one, probably use a piece of wood or something, tap it in, and we'll be good to go to do the front bearing retainer. Boy, that was a pain in the ass to get in. Of course, it went in crooked. I was able to straighten it out, but I think it's in there right. I hope, because boy, I don't want to take this back out. Anyway, we'll go ahead and lube it up and then get it ready to install. Go ahead and prep. Some photos. Go ahead and prep all this for install. I'm going to just put a light coating of grease on the shaft here. for that seal, and get it on, make sure it's all clean, and we will go ahead and install. I'm going to go ahead and put some Right Stuff sealant around here. On the bottom here, I got to be careful because of this hole here. And then put the gasket, and then put some Right Stuff on the housing itself. Smush it all together, make sure it's sealed nice. So I need to go get some new 5/16 lock washers per the book. He likes to use new lock washers with these bolts for here and the rear retainer. He doesn't safety wire them, he just uses new lock washers. But I'm also get some blue Loctite while I'm out to put those in instead of safety wire and all that. But while we wait on that, I have this this tool for the bushings. So we're going to go ahead and knock these out that I screwed up and install some new ones. So let me do that real quick. Yes, I'm doing this in my house because it's hot outside and it's raining. The old one came out perfectly. That tool is awesome. So I have a brand new one here again, and I'm going to fit it. Make sure that's hose lined up there with the grease cert, and we're going to fit it into this and then hammer it in with this tool. I believe this is also the same tool you can use with the clutch pedals and the brake pedals, so that'll be really cool. Just kind of line it up like that, and we'll tap it in place. Immediately didn't go as planned. Alright, so luckily whenever I took it off, it snapped right back to the same size, so it wasn't damaged. But it hammered right in, and I think we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Bushings are changed out on both sides now. Got the greaser tree installed, ready to roll. I did get a caliper honing tool that'll fit inside here if I need to. Because last time I checked the ID of this versus the OD of the shaft, they were exactly the same. So I might have to use my drill and hone this out a little bit. I'll take this greaser out and hone this out a little bit, so that way you just got a snug but loose. You know, the snug fit, but it's not too loose. Alright, so I'm not installing it yet because I don't have my front bearing retainer installed yet. I gotta get those washers, but I wanted to check the fitment with this this clutch shaft. This is the adapter for the Model A. Now with my new bushings in, if you remember, the ID of this was the same as the OD of this. It was super tight fit. So what I did was I actually bought a what is this, a brake caliper home. This was like $10 or something, maybe $13 at Riley's. It's flexible, and all I did was push it together, stick it in the hole, and make a couple passes. It's really nice, even, looks really good. And with that done, look at there. It fits perfect. I don't want to go all the way in because I don't want to go all the way in because obviously it's not all installed yet. But I just want to show y'all. I'm gonna actually do the other side, and I'll video how I did it. Got the new bushing installed. I haven't done anything with it yet. Did the clutch shaft. You see, it doesn't fit. It's very tight. Obviously, it doesn't go in from this way. It goes from the other way. But just to show you, it's not going to fit. Got the brake caliper hone. I'm going to squeeze the tips together, stick it in the hole. There you go. And I'll just and remember to remove the greaser when you do this. Do not want the greaser in there. And just go ahead and clean it out. Nice and smooth. All right, let's give it another go here. Oh. Make sure this is cleaned off. Oh yeah, that is perfect. That is, I think that is perfect. Nice snug fit, not too loose. I think that's perfect. So yeah, super easy. Excellent.